Dear students, next problem from Force and Law of Motion chapter from 9th standard. NCERT exercise problem number 10. See this question. Using horizontal force of 200 Newton. Okay, so horizontal force 200 Newton. We intend to move a wooden cabinet across a floor at constant velocity. So what is the frictional force that will be exerted on the cabinet? Okay, so actually the question is என்ன சொல்லுதுன்னா ஒரு horizontal floor, the horizontal floor, okay, not vertical, it is like what, so it is a horizontal force. Okay, so the horizontal floor la ஒரு wooden block, that is wooden cabinet, like a cupboard, okay, like a cupboard. Okay, now just you are standing here, now you have to push this cupboard in horizontal direction with constant velocity. So we'll start to move here some velocity v, okay, then after some times, so it will move from here to here, here to here with the same velocity, the same v, because that is the constant velocity v. So what is the acceleration here? So acceleration formula, you know, change in velocity. So initial velocity or final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. The same velocity, v minus v. Initial velocity also v, final velocity also v, because it is constant velocity. So constant velocity means acceleration is 0, because v minus v is 0. So 0 by anything is 0. So acceleration of the wooden cabinet is 0. Okay. So we want to think, for example, it is the surface, it is one object. When the object is moving on the surface, here to produce frictional force, okay, see that some sound will come, so frictional force. So there is a relative motion between two objects, that is relative motion, and that is a frictional force. The net force is nothing but the combinations of applied force and frictional force. Okay, then net force means what? Applied force plus frictional force. So we can say net force is equal to, or otherwise we can write like this. Sorry. So applied force plus frictional force that is equal to net force. But you know that the net force is actually 0 now, because we know that force formula, that is F is equal to ma. Now the acceleration is 0, so the net force is 0. So I can write force, this is Fa, applied force, F frictional force, net force, that is Fn, or smaller, net force. Okay, but in this question they are asking the frictional force. Okay, so applied force is given as 200 Newton. So applied force, this is applied force. Applied force is equal to 200 Newton. Applied force is 200 Newton. This is applied by this person. So applied force is 200 Newton. Frictional force I don't know. We are going to find. Then E is equal to net force, you know, 0. Okay. So therefore frictional force is equal to, therefore frictional force equal to 200 moving the another side minus 200 Newton. That's all. This is the frictional force. Why the frictional force getting negative side? Because the negative sign is indicating that is opposite to the applied force. Frictional force is opposite to the applied force. Okay? I hope you understand question.